Welcome to Space Matrix. Please subscribe and hit the bell icon for more updates. A major new agreement has just been signed between the United States and the Philippines. It's about energy, but really about power in the South China Sea, aimed at Beijing. For years, the Philippines has struggled to access its own waters, often blocked by Chinese ships. Now, the U.S. promises technical and security support, giving Manila the backing of a superpower. It draws a new line, not on a map, but in who controls the sea and its resources. The situation remains urgent and serious. The South China Sea has long been a crossroads for trade, fishing, and national identity. Countries like Vietnam, Malaysia, Brunei, and the Philippines have deep-rooted claims here, based on geography and international law. The real flashpoint, China's sweeping 9-dash line claiming nearly 90% of the sea, overlapping with its neighbors' exclusive economic zones, or EEZs. Under international law, a country controls resources within 200 nautical miles of its coast, but China's claim ignores these boundaries. In recent years, China has built artificial islands with military bases, runways, and missile systems, projecting power far from its mainland. Smaller countries can't match this buildup, fueling fear and instability. In 2016, the Philippines won a landmark legal victory at The Hague, which ruled China's claims had no legal basis. China rejected the ruling outright, calling it waste paper, and has continued its activities as if the decision never happened. This refusal to accept international law is at the heart of today's tensions. The South China Sea is now a stage for power plays, not just old grievances. The legal battle may be over, but the struggle for control is not. The region's history is now colliding with modern geopolitics. For the Philippines and its neighbors, the stakes are sovereignty and security. For China, it's about regional dominance. The conflict is far from resolved. The South China Sea is rich in oil and natural gas, potentially billions of barrels and trillions of cubic feet. For countries like the Philippines and Vietnam, these resources could mean energy independence and economic growth. The Philippines, heavily reliant on imports, faces a looming energy crisis as its main gas field, Malampaya, nears depletion. The Reed Bank, within the Philippines' EEZ and confirmed by the 2016 tribunal, holds promise, but China claims it too. Every attempt by the Philippines to explore the Reed Bank has been blocked by Chinese vessels. This standoff has left Manila unable to access resources it desperately needs. The fight is about more than money. It's about national destiny and self-sufficiency. Developing these reserves could stabilize the Philippines' power supply and lift millions out of poverty. The struggle for the South China Sea is a struggle for the future. Energy security here means economic survival. For Manila, the stakes are existential. For Beijing, it's about control and leverage. The energy beneath these waters is fueling a high-stakes contest. The outcome will shape the region's next generation. The battle for black gold is just beginning. The U.S. Philippines Energy Security and Maritime Cooperation Pact is more than a business deal. American companies will help the Philippines explore for oil and gas, bringing advanced technology and expertise. The pact includes a security guarantee. The U.S. will help ensure safe energy exploration within the Philippines' EEZ. This could mean U.S. security escorts for Filipino vessels, deterring Chinese harassment. The agreement reaffirms the 2016 tribunal ruling as final and binding, embedding international law into the alliance. Any interference with Philippine exploration is now framed as a violation of international law. The pact also sets up joint maritime patrols, U.S. and Filipino navies working side by side. More American ships in disputed waters raise the stakes for China. This is a shield made of technology, law, and military presence. It's a comprehensive strategy to protect Philippine rights and resources. The message: Manila is not alone. For the Philippines, this pact is a turning point. With U.S. backing, Manila can finally access its offshore energy and address its looming power crisis. The agreement strengthens the Philippines' global position and could inspire other Southeast Asian nations to push back against China, but it also ties Manila more closely to the U.S.-China rivalry, risking economic retaliation from Beijing. China is the Philippines' largest trading partner, and trade could become a weapon. The Philippines must balance sovereignty with economic stability. For ordinary Filipinos, the risks are real, but so are the potential rewards: jobs, lower electricity prices, and new infrastructure. The pact offers hope for prosperity, but the path is fraught with danger. Manila is betting on a stronger future, but the stakes have never been higher. The next moves will define the nation's trajectory. The world is watching. China's response was immediate and fierce, condemning the pact as a dangerous provocation. Beijing sees the U.S. as an outsider meddling in its backyard, and the pact as a direct challenge to its authority. China's Coast Guard and maritime militia have long used gray zone tactics to assert control without open conflict. The new pact threatens this strategy, making further harassment riskier. In response, China has ramped up military drills and naval patrols, a show of force to warn both Manila and Washington. Beijing insists it will defend its indisputable sovereignty, raising the risk of miscalculation or accidental conflict. Control of the South China Sea is central to China's economic and military ambitions. An empowered Philippines backed by the U.S. is now a major obstacle. The stakes are not just territorial, they're strategic. The region is on edge. The U.S. has vital interests in the South China Sea, chief among them, freedom of navigation in one of the world's busiest shipping lanes. Over $3 trillion in trade passes through these waters each year, including goods bound for the U.S. and its allies. Washington wants to keep these sea lanes open and uphold the international rules-based order. China's rejection of the 2016 tribunal ruling is seen as a direct challenge to that order. The U.S. also has a treaty obligation to defend the Philippines, and this pact strengthens that alliance. It's a practical demonstration of American commitment, not just words on paper. Supporting Manila is part of a broader strategy to counter China's influence in the Indo-Pacific. The Energy Pact advances multiple U.S. goals, helping an ally, promoting international law, and pushing back against Chinese expansion. The situation is tense, and the future uncertain. But with this pact, America's position is clear. The world is watching what happens next.